Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chana and this is Jar of Fireflies. Here I make videos all about my life as an Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of 4. And today I'm going to Israel. That's right folks, I'm leaving here in just a few minutes to go to the airport to go to Israel. So many emotions, so many feelings, all the things. It's me and one of my kids. So I'm leaving the rest of the family at home and we're going to Israel. Okay, the reason we're going again is because we are dedicating a Sefer Torah to my father-in-law. I will link a video below that has all kinds of information on that and like just what that means, writing a Sefer Torah. So that's what we're going for. And then, yeah, I get to see some Israel and like spend some time there, visiting a lot of family, things like that. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening here. I am in New Jersey. I am in Lakewood. I'm visiting my sister-in-law. I came here yesterday and I spent the night here, me and my son, and then we're going out today now to the airport. My sister-in-law is coming with us to Israel. She's flying over with us. She'll be with us like half the time and half the time she'll be with other family on her husband's side. So overall, I'm gonna get to spend time with like all my family over there, which is awesome. And hopefully some friends too. We're trying to squeeze that in there amidst everything else that's going on. I'm like deep breaths. It's just a lot. And I'm like, my mind is like this mental roll of like, did I pack this? Did I do this? Should I go do this? Like all the things before I go. So, because it's a long flight, it's like a 10-hour flight. Plus it's like an hour drive to the airport. I don't even know how long the drive is after we land, where we've got, I don't know. It's gonna be a lot of travel. Okay. So that's basically what's happening here. And I'll take you guys, I'm just gonna start taking you guys along my trip and we're gonna see what happens. So I don't know what this video will devolve or turn into or whatever. But we're just gonna try to see what we can do and go from there. After a delightfully uneventful drive to the airport, we got through all the security and everything, and we're just waiting by the gate at this point. We had brought some sandwiches with us that we picked up at the grocery store earlier in the day, so I'm eating that now, and my son is eating his because it's right around lunchtime. I know that they will serve a meal on the plane, but it won't be for at least a few hours yet, 2 maybe 3 hours, so eating now I think is a pretty solid plan. Okay, we are all ready to board. We've got our passports and our boarding passes and we're good to go. Okay, so we made it. We're on the plane and we're getting ready to take off. So I'll probably catch you guys again once we land and kind of get settled. Because I'm hoping to mostly just sleep on the flight. It's about a 10-hour flight and then we'll be there. Okay, so sleep was actually kind of hit or miss, but that's okay. Here's little dude, my son. He is enjoying playing games and watching some shows on the TV screen of the back of his little seat there in front of him, the TV. Speaking of, this is something really neat here on El Al Flights, which is an Israeli airline that I am flying on, is they have this section called Traditional where you can find all kinds of Torah classes and Gemara classes and all kind of things like that. So it's really very interesting. And they even have like a section for the kids where there's all kind of kid videos that are all like Torah videos. So I just thought that was so cool and just like a neat little feature of an El Al flight that you won't find anywhere else. Okay, it's finally time. We are headed to take off. This is amazing. This is incredible. It's finally happening, you guys. Like for real, it's happening. I can't even hardly believe it at this point, but we are taking off. We are in the air. We are flying to Israel. Okay, think I'll sleep? It's unlikely. Okay, so they did serve dinner there after a little bit. It was not bad, actually. It was like a chicken curry thing with rice and a salad and a brownie. There was a cup of drinking water and some hummus and a mizonot bagel, which means I don't have to wash on it, or roll. It was a roll. Okay, so we had that about the time we were flying over Canada. And then we just kind of kept going, flying over the ocean there for a while. And I kind of was like napping off and on as we were flying at this point. You know, it was definitely like later at night, even by like Texas time. Really didn't even know what time to go by, really. I was kind of just going by the countdown of how long was left on the flight and not really concerning myself with how many, like what time it was, just how many hours were left, or minutes, because at this point we're at 23 minutes. I can really feel it. I'm getting so excited at this point. We are almost there. Even just crossing over from the ocean to the land, like knowing that we were over the land of Israel was just the coolest feeling. And then we landed. So that's the thing on an El Al flight. When it lands in Israel, the whole plane claps. So just a fun little thing. All right, so then we had to walk down through the airport to customs. So I'm at Ben Gurion International Airport, and all along this huge hallway on the way to the customs, where they ask you the questions, why are you in Israel, and that sort of thing. This whole hall is filled on both sides with posters of all of the hostages that are still being held in Gaza. And they are covered with notes and trinkets and gifts, and just, it was such an emotional thing walking down this hall and seeing all of this. So I just wanted to share this with all of you. So then we just had to wait in the customs line, which actually went pretty quickly, even though it was a really long line and, again, uneventful. And then we picked up our bags and got a rental car and headed out into Israel. Okay, so I am here. I am in Bnei Brak right now. We're staying in Tel Aviv tonight with my brother-in-law. And yeah, so we're just kind of doing a little bit of shopping here. I don't remember what they said the street name was, but I'm here with my sister-in-law right now, and we're just kind of shopping up and down this street in Bnei Brak, where there's all kind of shops and things like that. We've already gotten some kippot for my son and some scarves for me. This place was absolutely bustling with activity and people. There were so many shops. It felt like the street would never end, and we didn't even get to the end. Here is a little bit of the scarf shop that I visited. We also went to a bakery and got some sufganiyot, and we went to some different clothing stores and a Judaica store, and there were so many options, so many places, and you could just get pretty much anything. There were grocery stores and kitchen stores and just all kinds of things, and it was just so busy, so packed with so many people. Kids were going home from school, and like little kids walking home by themselves. It's not like America. It's so interesting here because this place, Bnei Brak, where I am right now, is a very religious place. People here are very, very high level of religiosity. And then like 10 minutes away, you've got Tel Aviv, which is very secular. Also, while we were in Bnei Brak, we dropped off a wig to get done for my sister-in-law. And then we came back to the apartment. This is my brother-in-law's apartment. And this is the sunset over the beach on Tel Aviv. This is the Mediterranean Sea right over there. This is the view from the balcony. And it was just so incredibly stunning. Okay, so it has been a super spectacular day. We went down to Bnei Brak, spent some time there, did some shopping. I got some headbands for my daughter. I got some kippot for my son and some headscarves for me. And then we went to Givat Shmuel, which is nearby here, and had the best falafel in Israel, I am told. It was quite delicious. Highly recommend. And then we went to my sister-in-law's house and we hung out there for a little while. That was really super fun. And now we're back here at my brother-in-law's place, where my sister-in-law and I and my son are gonna be staying here tonight. So that is what is going on right now. I'm beat, I'm tired. I keep falling asleep in the car because I'm so tired. I also just realized that the outlets here are not the same as America. And I should have thought of that because I know better, but I didn't. And nobody told me, but that's okay. The little details that people leave out. So anyways, we are gonna go to bed right now and pick up tomorrow and see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to film tomorrow or not, or I may just film like tiny bits and pieces because I really just want to soak it in and enjoy the trip. But we'll just, like I said, we'll just see what this video does for us. So stay tuned because I'll be back in a few moments with tomorrow. Okay, so I'm sitting on the balcony of my brother-in-law's apartment. It's morning now. It's probably about 8 or so, 9 or so, probably actually 9 or so. Okay, slept pretty good last night. I was awake for a while, and while I was, the sirens went off last night. The sirens meaning that somebody shot a missile or more. Like, I didn't know at the time what was going on. Okay, I'm in Tel Aviv right now. So, I didn't know what to do. At this point, I hadn't even seen my brother-in-law yet, whose apartment I'm staying with. My sister-in-law, who's also here, told me that there was a safe room here, but I didn't know what room it was. I don't know, I kind of ignore tornado alarms at home. Like, okay, so here's the thing. When there's a tornado alarm at my house, I go outside and I look out front to see how bad it is. And I let the kids sleep. So I was kind of like, should I do that here too? Well, that ends up being what I did. So my brother-in-law comes in, he just wanted to make sure I wasn't like scared or anything like that. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it, just stay in bed. But then I came out, I was like, are you sure we don't need to go somewhere, you know, like a safe room? And he was like, yeah, no, it's cool. You want to come outside and see it? And I was like, yeah. So we ran out onto the patio and we could hear all the alarms, and the alarms stopped and it was just silence. And like, we're looking at the sky, we're looking everywhere in the sky, trying to see if we can see the missile and then the Iron Dome defense system shoot it down. We didn't see it, but we heard it. It was like this super loud boom. And it just like, it's not the same as seeing it on a YouTube video, you guys. It is not the same. Kind of put a lot of stuff into perspective for me about what it's like living here, and just, I don't know, I'm still organizing my thoughts on the whole situation. But that happened last night, so I ended up going back to sleep after that. I stayed up for a little while, and then I ended up getting another like 2-hour nap or so that's good. But I got plenty of sleep last night, and then I woke up this morning, came out here. I'm doing my tefillah here on the beautiful patio. Like, the view out here, you guys, it's stunning. You can't even see, I don't think, very well. But I will say, I realized this morning, that's the Mediterranean Sea right there. I did not know that was the Mediterranean Sea. So I'm kind of laughing at myself about that I didn't realize that this was like an ocean view or a sea view or whatever you want to call it. But anyways, we're gonna head out on our day right now. We're meeting up with some more family, and we're going to, I think, just have some coffee and then explore Tel Aviv. So I've made a list of a few places that I really want to go see, and I guess we'll see how many we can get to and what else everybody else wants to do too, because the trip isn't just about me, though it is my first time here. So there is that, and everybody else has lived here before. So anyways, we're gonna go do that, and I'll take you guys along. Before we left, we went to my other sister-in-law's apartment to have tea before coming back down to my brother-in-law's apartment for breakfast, because they both live in the same building. And wow, the view from her balcony, you guys. So her balcony is like the other side of the building. So I'm getting this full view picture of how far Tel Aviv stretches and just how incredibly massive it is. I really had no idea. Like, it's just huge. It just keeps going and going, and there's just so many giant buildings. It's not like Dallas. But anyways, we got some tea and we brought it downstairs to my brother-in-law's apartment. I had some English breakfast with milk, and then he had set up a beautiful array of like fruits and vegetables and dips and pita and tuna, and it was just delicious. It was a perfect breakfast. And then my sister-in-law went and I went out, and we just had some different stops that I had set up to go to in Tel Aviv. And everywhere we drive, by the way, there are these posters and bring them home and all kinds of things. They're just everywhere. This right here is Hostage Square. So this was our first destination, and Hostage Square is basically set up as a place where the hostage families will come and meet and grieve and talk, and they hold like rallies and they do concerts and all kinds of things that they do there at Hostage Square. And they also have a lot of these installations set up. So for example, this one right here, they set up during Sukkot. So this is a sukkah with a place for every one of the hostages that are still being held in Gaza. So I walked down and I looked at each one, and there were so many names and faces that I recognize and that I am just praying for constantly. Seeing all of the places, it puts it in perspective, seeing
visibly everything out here like this. This little table right here is for the 2 children that are still there. And next to them are the places for their parents. It's a lot, guys. This was a lot. I kept choking up while we were there. You know, I didn't want to just like break down and cry or anything like that. You know, I had my son with me, and he understands that this is basically a place that is set up so that people don't forget the hostages because they've been there for a long time. And he's aware that there are hostages. It's been over a year. He's heard enough conversations. They're aware of what's going on. My kids are, of just what's going on with Israel and the whole situation. So, yeah, this is the sukkah table installation that is just still set up there at Hostage Square. These girls were taken hostage together at an army base where they were working. They were soldiers. There's lots of different posters like this around of, you know, just different individuals. And I've seen their faces all and their names so many times over the past however many days it is right now. And seeing them all here in this place it's so full of emotion. And, you know, after the missile attack last night, it was just a lot, but I'm really glad that we came to this place. My sister-in-law also told me, and she's Israeli, but has been living in America for the past year, and she told me she was also really glad that we came to this place. Here's some more art installations. This is for the Bibas family, which is the one with the kids that are still there. And then here is a place where they're selling bring them home things. These ribbons were free, so we took some to tie on our purses. My sister-in-law and I did. And then I picked up one of these pins for me and for my son. Okay, so this installation right here is a 2-scale replica of the tunnels where we know that they have held hostages and are probably still holding hostages right now. So this is something that you can walk through. They have the Bring Them Home posters here lining the walls inside of this tunnel, and people have left all kinds of notes and messages for the hostages that are being held. The outside of this installation is lined with these giant yellow ribbons. So, on a lighter note, we left there and went to Neve Tzedek, which is the first neighborhood built outside of the old city. So that was pretty exciting. And then we came here to the Shuk HaCarmel, the Carmel market, which just sells anything you could possibly imagine. I mean, there was tons of food, like fresh baked things like barakas and cakes and sufganiot and olives and produce and spices and olives. I probably just said olives, candies, you name it, like everything, jewelry. It was just an incredible experience to come to this market. And after that, we were waiting to meet up with my brother-in-law and a cousin. And so we came to this playground where my son could play for a little bit.
All right, so we just finished that market. And we walked along some of the streets. We went in this really old neighborhood, and I'm gonna go back and voice over all of that. So by the time you're seeing this video at this point, you've already heard me talk about those things. Okay, so we finished those. We're over here at a park right now that we just happened to chance upon. So my little dude is playing on the park for a few minutes, and his cousin is gonna leave school early and come over and hang out with us. We're gonna go get some ice cream and then go to the beach.
So after we met up with my brother-in-law, we went down to this beach. I totally forget the name of it, but it's just like a beach there in Tel Aviv. And it was just the most beautiful water. It was so fun. This was also my son's first time to ever go to a beach. So that whole experience was just really, really special. And it was so exciting to get to share that with him. The kids got a little soaked and we all got a little sandy, but no worries there. We finished up there at the beach and grabbed some ice cream.
Okay, so the beach was so much fun. That was my son's first time ever to be at any sort of a beach outside of like a lake in Texas where they kind of bring in some sand. So that was pretty incredible and super fun to watch. And the water felt amazing. It was so crystal clear and the sand was awesome. I grabbed a couple of seashells to bring home to the other kids, and that's kind of it now. So we're just gonna walk on the boardwalk a little bit or we head back and just rest at the apartment. Oh, but by the way, turns out maybe the balcony wasn't the best idea last night when the sirens went off, because it did actually hit down. Let me show you.
Okay, so according to the IDF, this was a surface-to-surface missile attack from the Houthis in Yemen, and it has struck a school, which is what you see here, resulting in a lot of damage. Baruch Hashem, thank God, no injuries or casualties.
Okay, so this is just the reality of life in Israel. You know, I was joking with my husband that I'm getting like the full Tel Aviv experience, but for reals. And this is just part of life. I mean, I was on the 30th floor of a condo building, so I mean, if a missile hit the building, I'm not sure that even the safe room would be so useful. I don't know, but it is what it is, and no regrets. I still would have gone out on the balcony. But anyhow, we're gonna go walk the boardwalk. Okay, so this video is long enough now, I think, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off here, but don't worry, I will pick up the camera again and keep filming for this trip, but you'll just have to wait for another video for the rest of that. So, be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed and that subscribe button if you haven't already so you don't miss any of my future videos like the rest of my trip. And drop me a comment down below. Let me know if you have ever been to Tel Aviv and what is your must-do thing while you are there. All right, with that, we're gonna call this one a close. Hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your day, and I will see you in my next upload.